Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? Specifically, how are the mothers doing? The mommies. The mommies. I would like to have a discussion with you, mommies. So we love to laugh, right? We love to live, laugh, love, and we all get that. But there are some comedic trends that have become associated with mom influencing that are concerning at least and destructive at best. Now, we've all witnessed certain trends or images about certain influencer mothers, maybe privileged opinions on what they believe they're owed from people they've never met. Or minion memes that God cannot seem to quell. Well, I think a good account that encompasses all of the different type of cringe things that mom influencers like is this account that I found called MomLife Comics. Technically, Twitter found it, but then I never stopped looking at it. It's like the greatest hits of mom jokes. For example, getting mad at your husband, and the classic wine mom joke, insulting your idiot husband, and wearing yoga pants all day, seething at every one of your husband's ideas, and having your kids crawl all over you, and absolutely hating every single thing your husband ever fucking does. Okay, so sorry, but I think she actually genuinely hates her husband, which is hilarious to me that she's putting it out here for us to see. I think that there is a common joke where we say that women hate their husbands because usually they date and end up marrying these shitty dudes, but she hates him so much. The real Mary, who posted her government name and where she lives on this app and on her website, has an endless supply of posts just eviscerating him, just tearing her husband to shreds. And I get that motherhood is this endless uphill battle of trying to keep your sanity together and trying to provide the best for your children, and making comics addressing the situation and lightly ribbing your husband isn't immoral and honestly seems like a healthy way to reflect on the upsets of your everyday life. But this woman does not do that, or at least not in the same way. So when Twitter first found her, these posts started rolling in of a woman roasting her husband for making smoothies with the last peach and not packing as much as her and trying to be helpful but not knowing where everything is. And it shot past other classic mom jokes and became this page where she just non-stop roasted him. Most of the updates are her husband doing something that doesn't seem that bad, and then her being you fucking idiot, or being mad but thinking this horrible angry thought and then not saying it, but then saying it on Instagram for him to see later. It's a non-stop roast, and it does lose its comedy over time because these are supposed to be jokes. Or at least we're no longer laughing with you. We're more staring curiously at you, being what is happening behind the scenes? Or at least I am. I am so involved in this woman's life at this moment in my life. Having posts that just say haha, men are dumb is basic mom culture. It's done all the time. It will probably continue to be done after this. But after a while, MomLife Comics specifically, her posts become less comedic and more confrontational. And then if you continue to look farther, it just starts to feel unhealthy, is really the only way I could describe it. But before I start being mean, let's actually take a look at some of them. So here she is, bringing in the groceries, and she has all of them, and he only has one. Which, first of all, I fundamentally disagree with this, because every single guy I've ever met in my entire life, myself included, will stack 5 grocery bags on each arm, and will waddle into the house trying to get them all in on one trip. It's in the Dudes Rock code. We just always do this. So I don't believe this one off the bat. This already seems like she's making this up. Maybe he just grabbed one bag at the time, and she thought, wow, I need to draw this so I can make fun of him online. Anyway, next frame, he's carrying more things, obviously, and he's told to open up the toilet paper and split it between bathrooms. And she goes to the bathroom while he's showering and sees the toilet paper is there, but it's not in the right spot. So she goes down and asks, "Are you trolling me?" Which I'm 99% sure she didn't actually verbally say, because I don't think people say the word trolling out loud unless you're a character in a fan fiction. Our husband says Teddy was napping and he didn't want to wake him up. Side note, Teddy is probably the baby, but that is such an old man name. It sounds more like you have a squatter in your attic that you didn't want to wake up, which is still nice, but like Teddy, like Theodore? If a friend of mine ever has a child and names him like George or something, we're gonna have to have a talk, because it's just no old man names. Society has moved past naming babies Teddy and George. Anyway, he says that he doesn't want to put the toilet paper in the correct spot because it'll wake Teddy up, to which I don't understand, because I don't feel like putting toilet paper away is a loud thing, so I'm already missing something. Plus, Teddy had napped through a renovation on their kitchen, and my husband making a smoothie every single fucking day, which is really off the bat kind of confrontational, but it's the first one. So this child loves to sleep, and his excuse is invalid, even though it already felt dumb because it's toilet paper, and I don't think that's like a thing. But so I'm missing, I don't know what this is. I don't know what the joke is. She screams, and I think he's like, I should have said I was trolling. Here is one of my personal favorite common themes in MomLife comics, which is that when she gets mad, which is a lot, she'll scream and she'll go, what? And then she'll like color the character of the comic mom to be like red to symbolize anger, but it always looks like she just like in between frames went to the beach and got a horrific sunburn and then came back and reacted. It should have been a darker red, or maybe more of like a fiery red. This just looks like you need some aloe stat. Okay, first comic, the joke is that the husband is stupid, which is fine. I mean, you can post about your husband being dumb, that's cool, nothing insane yet. But this is just one, and I think you'll see where I'm going when I continue. Okay, yes, this is the peach one. This is like, the girlies really didn't like this one on Twitter because she's like, oh, we have a peach. I should give it to my child who likes peaches. And then the husband is like, oh, a peach. I like peaches and we own this peach. So what could possibly be wrong with me eating this peach, or even worse, putting it in my smoothie? So first of all, I'm assuming he's like a gym guy. These are probably protein smoothies or something so he can get his fit on and everything. I don't know why she hates them so much. She just seems to really not like them, and it also seems like something that he's always done. So I'm wondering why you still feel this level of frustration towards it enough to basically imply that he sucks for this. I don't know. I mean, it's fine, you're allowed to post it, though it just kind of seems like your fault in this one. Okay, here she's drawing herself with cash because she has followers, living that influencer dream. I think this was for a giveaway. She obviously has made a serious amount of money through these comics, which good for her, get the bag. Hopefully the rest of your releases are like about the qualms of motherhood in like a lighthearted, maybe non-confrontational manner, not hurting anyone, not specifically calling out like the love of your life. You know, good for you, girl. Get that check. Anyway, they're not like that. They are still bad. Here's the family trip checklist. Also know that when I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at them on my beautiful girl boss phone. Here's their family trip checklist where she brings all the shit and gets mad at her husband for taking a shit. He has to go poop. She's mad that he poops. Something that she obviously does not do herself. Okay, personal, unnecessary take, but posting about your husband shitting is weird. I don't really care what the joke is. I mean, once again, I'm gonna say it 20,000 more times. You can post whatever you want, but like, this is kind of like posting that your husband poops is like, we're really in your relationship now. And honestly good, because I'm so interested as it gets deeper, because you'll see that she just starts really turning on him every single time that he's in the room. Okay, and he helps load the car. I don't know, man. Do you feel that you can't tell your husband to pack the kid's stuff? Or do you guys just like not communicate at all? Or is it like, you know that if he packs it, he'll do it wrong and not include everything, so therefore you've taken it upon yourself to handle every single aspect of the trip planning other than your husband's own bag, but now you've been consistently building this resentment against him that he doesn't even know about until you make a comic about it and post it online for him to see, and the rest of the world. Who's to say? Okay, same joke. She brings all the stuff. He only brings his keys. At this point, I'm wondering, like, does she tell him before she posts about him? Like, hey, husband, who I allegedly love, I'm gonna make, like, numerous posts implying that you're useless and that I do everything. Is that okay if I publish that online with my real name so that everyone we know thinks you suck? I'm assuming he must have been fine with it to an extent, but at this point, it feels pointed. Like, all day she's thinking about new and fun ways to shame her partner online. I don't know, man. I'm getting like steep commitment issue vibes. Or maybe she has like a neurotic tendency to overplan and her husband isn't like that and she's resentful. I'm not sure really. But at this point, I've left the Twitter bandwagon because they were making fun of her. But I am eagerly pouring through these images because I want to know. I want to know when she snapped, when she decided that she was going to commit her life to making fun of her husband, because this is, I think, what she does like all day. I think this is her job, on top of obviously being a mother. There is something deep and dark within Mom Life comics. I think something truly is wrong, and I'm going to find it. Also, I have to point out that this girl is against the girl pockets movement, which is an insane thing to say out loud. Insane enough that I don't even really want to scroll farther to know what she has to say, because she's already said enough. Okay, some info. My husband is not a dumb jock. He is a smart lawyer who also runs a basketball training business. Okay, so he has 2 jobs, and you're work from home with the kids, probably self-employed with the comics, I'm guessing. So that's why he's like never here. This might be the motive of the hatred towards him, which is understandable. She resents the fact that he's never there because he's working, and when he is there, he just wants to chill. Okay, I get it. I think I'm putting the pieces together. This still feels like a conversation that like could be had though. This is a discussion you guys can have now, and maybe they will. We'll see as we pour farther in. But I already have the solution for you if you're looking for it, Miss Mom Life. Okay, so this one's about leaving the room or the house, and the kids are like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, no, please, mommy, mommy, mommy." And then when he leaves, she's just pissed because he just goes. This one implies a bit more that she just hates being around her kids, which is funny, but I know that will get me like in actual trouble if I start implying that, because I don't think she actually hates her kids. I just think she's probably very annoyed by them. I'm not going to delve into it, even though she is certainly posting about how annoying her children are online. But she's resentful of him because the whole point of this is that she's mad that he can go. I know that Twitter exaggerates, but she has now claimed that she is mad that he eats the last peach, that he doesn't carry as many groceries, doesn't understand her organization, doesn't plan well, and happens to be someone who poops. And now just like the act of him leaving is enough for her to become irritated enough to make a comic about him doing it. Okay, we got fun dad and lazy mom. I think this is a more general, like, all dads get treated this way in like a patriarchal context, to which sure, mothers do get more pressure to be perfect compared to fathers. That makes perfect sense and is probably accurate. But that's her husband character. We know that because when she talks about other men, she uses other character models. At this point, it feels like she's mad at him and using a larger issue to drag him, which is something she does use as an excuse throughout her posts. Basically this like, it's not just my husband, but society allowing him to be this way. To which I mean, yes, like on paper, yes. That does happen, but I don't think your kids are mad that you got McDonald's. There isn't like a 4-year-old kid that's like, wow, I really hope my mom comes home to cook a nice healthy meal that ensures that I receive all the nutrients a growing child needs. Oh kids, I got McDonald's. You inconsiderate, lazy, worthless, unbelievable piece of shit. Literally no, the kids are already probably shoveling those chicken nuggets into their mouths at a horrifyingly fast rate. And if you tell, like, your friends that you got McDonald's for your kids and they judge you for that, I mean, that sucks, but also, your friends kind of suck too. I don't know, man, you kind of placed your husband in this weird, irredeemable place and then used society as an excuse, but at this point, I know I'm missing something. I believe, deep in my heart, that something has happened within the relationship of these two, but the issue is, I don't know who did what. It could be either of them. I mean, yes, she could just be a cringy mom blogger, but there's a lot of negative energy here that feels so pointed, very much directed at the husband specifically, and not at husbands as a whole. It leaves me speculating that something bad enough happened, that she thought the only way to get back at him was to post all of his faults online under the guise that it's quirky mom humor. My husband at home, my kids at home. This just feels like you hate your kids. Or maybe your husband isn't affectionate enough with them. I'm not sure. I used to jump all over my dad. I don't know if I believe this one. If anything, I roughhoused with my dad at that age much more than my mom. I don't understand what it is. Like, did he do something to her? She spends almost every post describing him as useless, a shitter, and not really with the kids, so something's off. I'm only getting a piece of the picture, which makes sense because she's the only author. But even if he did something, or maybe she's developed a catastrophic resentment towards him that's built over so long that everything he does makes her mad. I want to know why. What happened? Or did she do something, and now their relationship is fractured, and her only way to let out how she feels is to roast him online? Let me just state that yes, I am exaggerating a little, but also not really. Mom jokes, mom-focused content, and yes, MomLife comics are cringe to us, but of course we're not the market for this. Other moms are. This is mom for mom related stuff. That I, someone who is not a mom, isn't going to get fully, but I don't think it has to be that universal. For example, another person who does sort of mom comic content is this woman, Kate Beaton. She has comics in a different art style that have so much heart and life to them. Her Mother's Day comic makes me weep like every time. And she describes similar slice of life parenting issues with a slightly more positive outlook, even on topics making fun of fathers. These show the comedy not in just the frustrations of motherhood, but in the joys of it as well. It feels more well-rounded, more purposeful, and better written. And if you want a more, basic version, there is a Facebook family called the Holderness Family that goes into the intricacies of motherhood and uses their real faces. It's quirky, makes fun of the mom stuff, but not hateful towards the other family members. They're super successful. I mean, I heard about them through my own mom. But on the other end, after a constant supply of these comics, they feel a bit, basic, but also mean. Mom humor does not always have to be resentful. She feels more combative than the average mom influencer. It's like watching their relationship fall apart in real time. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I shouldn't really be sharing this online. I'm almost done. Okay, bringing groceries in the... Wait, we saw this one. Oh my god, different fits, but the exact same joke. Oh no, is she running out of basic mom content? A repeat, this is rough girl, and you get paid for this, I think. And you're reposting jokes? This is like your whole thing, your possible livelihood? It's like wearing the same outfit twice to the Met Gala. Okay, I mean, it's just lazy, but I guess it's fine. You're not killing anyone. Okay, dad maze. Dad maze? Where's dad? A printable maze for kids. Pooping? Fuck, why? Ew, why are you doing this to me? Fell asleep on the couch, which is so true, dads do that. Running errands on his phone, or getting fresh air on his phone. So add the classic, it's 'cause you be on that phone, to reason she hates her husband. I guess, yeah, it just doesn't end at this point. Things only dads can pull off. Yep, so true, dad's on the couch. Okay, dads are good at showering daily. Does this imply that he showers and she doesn't? Like, while she's drawing this comic, there is also 3 comic, stench lines over her right now in real life? Or is it the more expected joke that her husband doesn't shower, like men are stinky, which is somewhat more universal, but he can. Dads can pull off showering. Am I reading this wrong? I really think she implies that she stinks. To which, is that 'cause motherhood is so time consuming that you don't shower and he gets to because he has more time and he's a bad father and you're taking all the responsibility? No, I don't think that's what she means. She definitely grammatically implies that she's kind of gross. Oh wait, that's not him. That's someone else. She did that with another submitted post where it's not her husband. Which further implies that every time she is drawing him, this is something that he has done to her. Okay, I need to move on from this one. Dads are also good at being alone in any room of the house. This is inherently a little funny. Dads are so good at being alone. Alone in the room, alone emotionally, alone in this world. Not just alone in any room, but every room of the house. This one kind of got me. I'm sorry. She made a funny one. I'm gonna give it to her. Good for you, MomLife. Okay, actually moving on. Yes, Friday vibes. Okay, let's wrap presents. She spent their entire life savings apparently on, and he's like, I only want to wrap what I got, which is this one little vomit bag. I mean, if my wife entered the room... with 1, 2, 3, 23, 24, 25 presents and was like, let's do it. I think I also would be like, holy shit, how and why? But also in reality, why is he not doing it? Like my main thesis question, what's wrong with your relationship? So he kind of doesn't like you either now, and you hate him too, or is he just a dick? What are you trying to show? Blink twice if you need help, girl. When my husband is sick. Okay, so she confirmed that she stays at home as a graphic designer, her main job, and also does these comics on the side. Okay, this is still fairly close to your main thing. And he has a government job. Wait, I thought he was a lawyer. So he's busy all the time. She's obviously resentful because she's, posting it publicly here for us to see. Okay, so there's a first panel when my husband is sick and he's in bed and the kids are like, where is he? And she's cooking. In panel 2, she's sick and he went into work and she's mad. She posted specific details on this one. My husband has sick leave at his government job, and yet who still takes care of the kids while sick or when they're homesick? I do, of course. Okay, so this one is full I hate my husband, but specifically calling out her husband for an act that he does alone. There is no joke, he's just the villain. She really must hate him so fucking much. Okay, this one went around Twitter too. It's, I'm excited for my birthday because it's the one day I won't have to do the dishes and make lunches. And she thinks, does he think he doesn't have to be a parent on his birthday? Interesting. She thought this and did not say it aloud, and then later did say it publicly on Instagram. I mean, this is fine. This is like a lukewarm, I hate my husband statement, a subtle resentment. But after a while, I wonder if he looks at all these and he's like, so she hated when I said that? God, she must hate me so fucking much. Okay, love notes, cute. You're so sexy when you take the kids somewhere and leave me alone. Oh God, it's never like, I want you here, I want you in the room. Always the opposite. Okay, last one. Scenario. My husband walks into my room wearing my winter hat. My reaction 2 years into our relationship. Aw, my hat looks so cute on you, and so sweet that you want to wear it. Yeah, that's cute, yeah. First time she's shown any love. Thank you. Oh God, my reaction 17 years into our relationship. Why are you wearing my hat again? Please stop, it's my hat. I've asked you not to wear it 1,000,000 times. Oh man. You never put it back where it goes and you sweat in it and make it smell. Ah! So she like officially hates him. What is this if not disgust towards him? He can't wear your hat? It feels like we've headed to a very bad place in your relationship. Though I will say I'm really enjoying the ride. All right, I'm done. I'm done looking at these. I feel bad for the husband guy. Like, he obviously is just like some dude who's a bit dumb. And I also feel bad for Mary, the comic author, because she hates her husband so much. It's still funny that it's public, but after a while, it is a little sad. I mean, there's a lot here that makes me laugh, don't get me wrong. But there's some severe rift in their relationship, and I just want to know what it is. Once again, this is still generic negative mom joke vibes. That's not new, but it is depressing after a while that your entire online persona is just victimizing yourself and telling us that your husband is awful in terms of your domestic partnership. She actually did make a response to the viralization of it on Twitter. It's one of those like when a woman speaks on the internet and a bunch of like hands and snakes yelling at her, and like I never advocate for actually bullying someone, like commenting mean shit on her stuff. She turned comments off, but most of them on her account actually remain pretty positive. Like, no one's really being bad, so it's only Twitter, and Twitter was not hating her personally. They were making stupid edits like this, and implying that their relationship was toxic, but I wouldn't describe this as like an all-out attack. It was more like a necessary roast and a warning about your toxic relationship. They're bad communicators, and in a way, her comics are implying that it's okay to just live like that, which I think is maybe not the best message. And there's a poem next to it. I think that's a Taylor Swift quote. Okay, so song lyrics, so this obviously isn't that big of a deal. It's fine, girl. I mean, this is essentially just becoming a meme format now. But yeah, people said that your relationship sucked online. And sorry, but I agree with them. I don't want any of you overwhelmed mamas to spend a second on these, lots of 20-year-old guys who just don't get it. I mean, fair. I am in my 20s. That's not everyone that was making fun of you, but she kind of got me. But I stand by it. You still hate your husband. She then makes another post saying that she was attacked and doxxed, which I did not see any actual evidence of when I researched this. Just mostly shit posts making fun of her. Her website already publishes her full name and the town she lives in, so she's already giving away a majority of the info. Plus, this is her work website, and she has a blog that is password protected, which, girl, this only increases my interest. What are you hiding, queen? It is time to be real. But I'm not surprised she would take this stance. I mean, every post about her relationship victimizes herself and places her husband in this irredeemable role where he'll always be negatively impacting the situation whenever he's in frame. She's crafted a narrative in the comics where she's under attack all the time, so of course she would react the same way to the backlash. And then she gets interviewed by this other woman who I think is probably some other type of like mom influencer who is surprised that she got backlash. The interviewer also makes this statement that Twitter could not fathom that heterosexual relationships are like this, which is is incredible to me because she implies that only gay people are mad at her, which is certainly a thing to say out of nowhere. Anyway, the MomLife mom statement was basically her saying that she expected to be trolled for talking about the patriarchy and that her husband's actions are more of an example of society allowing him to get away with thinking about himself while she has to think about the kids. To which I will say, one, I already mentioned this before, but she always defends herself by saying, I don't hate my husband, I hate the patriarchy, and I hate that society allowed him to do this. Now, I may not live a straight woman's life, but you cannot say we live in a society every time your husband fucks up. I know she's making the argument that women should not be in charge of fixing the men around him, which is true, but when it's your husband, I do think you need to talk to him, especially if you resent him so obviously that basically your entire paycheck consists of roasting him online. Two, I can tell that she's trying to imply through the patriarchy comment that she thought, like, conservatives were gonna come for her for just being a woman and speaking online, which in reality, it was a bunch of leftists on Twitter saying your relationship sounds like trash, and then editing her into comics and stupid little posts. She's over here claiming she was attacked, but if anything, she was lightly called out, and she'll be fine. Her marriage, though, who could say? That is all I have to say. Her account intrigued me enough that I kept on looking at these post after post, enough that I wanted to share them. So in a way, she's a success. The inside of her marriage seems so just out of reach that I interacted with all of her posts. I wanted to know what drove a couple to this level of bitterness. I don't think I'll ever know, but she certainly grabbed my attention. And what is the internet if not trying to do that? Anyway, that is it. I guess I wish the two of them the best of luck, though if I was being honest, I really hope she posts one of these real soon. Anyway, yeah. Good luck, mommies. Bye for now.